is enough said.
What up, Heat Nation? Yo, boy Ernest here. Back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope you and guys are enjoying your Saturday, living your best life. Please share that positivity by smashing that like button. Do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to get all my updates. Now that we got that out the way, you guys, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure because there's two topics I want to get to today. The first one, I'm just going to breeze through this real quickly. So it's recently reported, and there's some buzz out there, that the Miami Heat may have interest in potentially trading for Collin Sexton. Now, I will keep it a buck with you guys. There's not real rumors on this. It's not like Shams or Brian Windhorst or someone credible spoke about this. This is just stuff that Miami Heat Twitter is posting. But I'm going to talk about it because I know a few of you have mentioned it in the comments, and I've seen others talk about this as well. So the potential trade package for Collin Sexton would be Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez for Collin Sexton. Not really a bad deal, be honest with y'all. I mean, Collin Sexton is on the final year of his contract, making about $18 million, almost $19 million actually. The Utah Jazz are under the first apron, so they are able to execute that trade to get more salary cap relief in the form of Terry Rozier and Jaime Jaquez. You're able to build with Jaime Jaquez. It gives you a young asset to build forward for the future. Collin Sexton would be a nice piece with the Miami Heat. Last season, he averaged 18.4 points a game, 4.2 assists. He shot 48% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, and 86% from the free throw line. This would be a great addition for the Miami Heat, especially offensively, which is where we're lacking. I can see this trade happen as long as the Miami Heat don't bring back Davion Mitchell. Because making a trade like this, would hamper them into the first apron. However, if they're able to shed some more salary, I mean, they're not taking back more money with Collin Sexton. They're sending more money out with Terry Rozier. So they may actually be able to keep these, to keep the mid-level exception to bring back Davion Mitchell. But you drafted Kasparas Jonas. Like, that's the part that I want to get into, you guys. You drafted Jonas as a future point guard for you. If you bring Collin Sexton into this team and you're trading Jaime Jaquez out, you're trading him with the idea of signing him to an extension. And now you're locked in with Collin Sexton for the next few years. And fine, you can trade for Collin Sexton because he has an expiring contract and let him walk after next season, but I don't think it's worth sending Jaime Jaquez out for. The only thing that I think Utah would be willing to do it because Danny Ainge is desperate with draft picks. The only way Danny Ainge makes a trade like that is if the Miami Heat attach a first-round draft pick for Collin Sexton. I'm not willing to do that. So I'll be honest with you guys. I think drafting Kasparas Jonas, bringing back Davion Mitchell, bringing back Drew Smith, getting rid of Terry Rozier, I think that's good for us. I think when it comes to the point guard position, that's good. You also have a guy like Tyler Hero who can also play the point guard position. I think when it comes to the point guard position, we're fine. Unless you're getting a superstar player. And this is where my next topic is going to come into, because I recently saw a podcast from Dwayne Wade yesterday. And Dwayne Wade was talking about the whole fact that the Miami Heat did not get Kevin Durant. And a few guys on the podcast were talking about it. They were acting upset. And Dwayne Wade was just being all nonchalant. He's like, guys, there was no way Kevin Durant was going to Miami when LeBron James was there. Kevin Durant will not follow LeBron. But after that, he said something pretty interesting. He said, the Miami Heat and Pat Riley will not push all their chips unless they're getting that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Heat are currently waiting for that guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the reason why I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, is because we know one of the main reasons why the Miami Heat were not willing to go all in for Kevin Durant, and it was reported by Brian Windhorst and Shams Charania. They want Giannis. The Miami Heat want Giannis. And they're saving all of their best assets to go after Giannis. So there's a potential, you guys, in my opinion, that this Collin Sexton rumor may have a little bit of merit on it if Miami is going all in with Giannis. And let me explain. It was reported by Brian Windhorst on Get Up, and this is exactly what Brian Windhorst said. This is why over the last few days, we have seen a couple teams who could have bid for Kevin Durant, a team like New York, a team like Miami, potentially a team like San Antonio, and not get into that bidding. And we saw a Milwaukee Bucks 2026 first round pick traded on draft night with the expectation that could be a valuable pick because teams are questioning whether the Bucks will be a strong team next year because they are questioning whether Giannis is going to be there, end quote. Those are three teams that I know that are holding out and waiting for Giannis. San Antonio, Miami, and New York. It's just depending on what they're willing to give up. I know you guys, I can tell you this, I know Giannis will eventually request a trade. If he does not, I think that's probably going to be one of the most shocking things in the NBA the last few years. Milwaukee is so hampered. Damian Lillard ruptured his Achilles. They don't have first-round draft capital for the next few years. They traded away Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma, who sucks in Milwaukee. They don't have a team around Giannis to contend. You saw it this year. They got bounced in the first round by Indiana. I know Giannis is going to want out. Shams and Windhorst said it recently that Giannis is holding out and he's waiting. He's waiting to see what the lay of the land is in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 3 days left until free agency. July 1st is when players are able to sign players to come to their teams. You're going to see sign-in trades happen. You're going to see free agents picked up. You're going to see restricted free agents being offered contracts and being matched by their current rosters. It's going to be a huge, crazy offseason. And Giannis is going to wait to see what teams do. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like the Miami Heat have held all their chips. Because with Giannis, you're going to go all in. And when I say all in, it's going to be with two different trade packages. Giannis is making about $57.5 million next season, you guys. And I mentioned this a few days ago, but I'm going to reiterate something. If you're trying to trade for Giannis, there's nobody in this team that's untouchable. I don't care. Name a player. That player ain't untouchable. But what you're trying to do is keep a roster built around Giannis to make it good. So if you're able to give Milwaukee a haul, including Kel'el Ware, Nikola Jovic, Andrew Wiggins for cap shedding, Duncan Robinson, you can throw in Jaime Jaquez or Haywood Highsmith, attach future first-round draft capital. Hopefully you can keep Kasparas Yakachonis, but if you got to include him, you got to include him. That, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like is good to get Giannis. And I know some people are going to say that's not good enough. You have to include Tyler or Bam. Not necessarily. If Milwaukee is trading Giannis, they're rebuilding. And what do teams need when they're rebuilding? I've said this so many times, but I'll say it again for those that can't remember. When teams are rebuilding, they want expiring contracts, draft picks, and young assets. And everything I just laid right now for Giannis is all of that. It checks all the above. It's not an A, B, or C. It's a D, all the above. Miami can give Milwaukee everything they need. New York, San Antonio, those are two teams that worry me because those are two teams that you're competing with. So maybe you got to up the ante. Maybe you have to include Bam Adebayo or Tyler Hero in a trade package. Now, I used to think maybe a couple years ago, I would tell you trade Tyler. But now, I would say trade Bam. If you put Giannis and Bam together on this roster without Tyler, it's going to diminish them offensively. You put Giannis in this team with Tyler, now you have a really good offensive team. Yes, if you're trading Bam, hopefully you get to keep Kel'el Ware. It's all depending on what the package is, guys. That first package I said is if you don't include Tyler and Bam, you keep them as your big three. Build around them, keep Yakachonis, re-sign Davion Mitchell, see what you have in some of these young players, pick up a player with the mid-level exception, get some minimum players, because I swear to God, especially in this new NBA collective bargaining agreement. If Giannis Antetokounmpo comes here, players are going to want to come here for the minimum. But that's the thing. It's when this is happening. Let's say this happens in August. There's not going to be a lot of free agents anymore at that point. So right now it's a waiting game. But guys, don't be shocked if on July 1st or July 2nd, we hear that Giannis wants a trade. For all you know, he's laying out the market right now. He's checking right now. This may happen a lot quicker than what we feel. So sure, if you're including Tyler or Bam in a Giannis trade, I'd be willing to do that. Tyler Hero's from Milwaukee. Maybe Milwaukee will want Tyler back. Maybe they'll be interested in Bam Adebayo. But I know if the Miami Heat are willing to include Tyler or Bam in a trade, it's going to give them a better chance than San Antonio or New York, depending on what they're willing to offer. You could do Tyler or Bam, and then after that, you can include a Nikola Jovic, Andrew Wiggins for cap shedding flexibility. You can also include Jaime Jaquez, Haywood Highsmith, throw in Kevin Love's expiring contract. Like there's a lot of flexibility the Miami Heat can do with Milwaukee for a potential trade. And then if you do something like that, and you have Terry Rozier and Jaime Jaquez left, then you can deal them to Utah for Collin Sexton and throw in a future first-round pick swap or a future second-round draft pick because you're going to use your first-round draft picks for Giannis. Yeah, then I can see Miami maybe going after both guys. The likelihood that that happens, very low. But I know that the Heat are holding out for Giannis. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we continue to push for 7,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said.